Hello, and welcome to Nerds and Stuff. My name is Martin, your host and master of ceremonies for this Urban Shadows campaign, Friends Like These. Before we get back into it, I'm going to have my players introduce their characters.
Hi, I'm Sterling, and I am playing Calvin Miles, the sad sack of magic we call a wizard.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm playing Oliver Silver, the guy that managed to escape fairly unscathed.
And I'm Junior.
Just fucking do this. And intro. So it's Tuesday night, several days later. Last we had saw our denizens of New Salem. It was midday Sunday. Oliver had last time we saw him on camera, he was meeting with Larry Newbold. Yeah, Larry Newbold, the private investigator, Duncan's father. He was investigating Mistress Ivy and who she's connected with and her routine, so you could get the drop on her effectively. The Crushed Velvet Sex Club, as well as Harmony Health Spa, you know that if you were to just go in there, acting a fool, potentially guns blazing, it wouldn't get you very far. You know she has hunters on staff. When you service the underworld, you deal with a lot of their problems, and she's no fool to that.
Well,
So
honestly, I don't necessarily want to kill Ivy. I want to know why she did what she did.
She was...
Depending on her reasoning,
go
then
from there.
it might happen.
But she poisoned you and tried to kill you, and you understand that it was because of the Court of the Fall.
Right. I want to know how much of that was her, and how much of that was them.
Yeah. And so it's kind of been eating away at you. You sent Larry a text earlier today, or you gave him a call, or I don't know, whatever.
Like he can text.
You gave him a call, and you asked for a progress update, and he said that he is wrapping up his investigation. He'll meet with you tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's kind of just had you nonstop going about it. You didn't really want to bring it up to Artemis. If he found out that you almost died, it would probably ruin the port show.
He's had a rough week dealing with me.
So Scarlett actually reached out to you, and she wanted to link back up with you now that she's had some time to recuperate from being taken hostage by the wolves. So she asked if you wouldn't mind meeting her Tuesday night for dinner at Marco's.
Sounds like a great...
Perfect.
Sounds like a treat.
All right, so we'll cut to Marco's. You guys had just met, you sat down, you both ordered some of Marco's special wine, and because he is a supernatural dinner, you have to make reservations for the supernatural section. Right, so you're sitting down, and she says, Oliver, dear, it is so good to see you again.
Scarlet, it's so good to see you well. I was really quite concerned.
I heard you were tearing up the town looking for me and the others, of course.
Yes, well, I don't make many friends, and those I do, I like to keep close.
And she kind of reaches across the table and runs her fingers across your face like this, and she goes, Oliver, you're...
I catch her hand,
Yeah.
and then just kiss the back of it.
She says, you're so sweet. I have to tell you, the clan has been in much discussion about what to do with you and your friends. From my understanding, some of you are meeting with the wolves.
They are?
The wizard.
It would be the fucking wizard.
I don't want to complicate things, but they're complicated, Oliver.
It seems that everything we try to do in this town has all sorts of lovely complications.
Yes. Things are in motion. Obviously, your brother started something, and now it's being seen through.
I take a long drink of, wine.
Yeah.
She mentions him. How long has he been here?
Several months, better part of a year from what I understand. He's been really trying to make a move.
It seems I've been clinging to the shadows for far too long.
Yes, well, you're letting your best years slip past you. I tell you, you seem like with some training, you could be an agile hunter for us. Or at least a strategist, one of the, probably, assistant to the elders. It's not too late. The door is not shut on you, Oliver, to join the Redmore clan.
You know me. I would love to join the clan, but I just don't know if the time is quite right.
Oh, Oliver, when is there ever time for anything? We have hundreds of years ahead of us. Why are you playing the long game? Things are in motion right now. We are making moves to solidify our clan. Do you want to get in on the ground floor? Or do you want to get in days late?
I just don't know what I have to offer. I mean, as far as... we have wealth. We all do. That's how we exist. I don't have any power in this city. I don't really have any connections. These are the types of things that buy weight in clans.
You've always put so much pressure on needing to earn your way in. I and others can vouch for you. You can start out as an initiate and work your way up from the very ground up. Your brother joined under certain circumstances that allowed him to surge through the ranks a lot faster. I won't mention any names, but I think you are aware that someone very powerful outside of the Redmore clan vouched for him.
I'm not aware of this. Who is this individual?
The man who turned you. The same man that turned your brother.
I break my wine glass.
Like, everybody kind of looks around and sees you, and they just go back to eating.
And then I just kind of drop the glass pieces and notice the blood on my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And just, like, lick it off.
And part of your hand is cut open, so it's part yours, part from the... Oliver, use your... You have no manners. Use your napkin. I have met Reynold. I don't understand why you hate him so.
It's not that he turned me. It's the way he did it.
Oh, please. It doesn't matter how they turn you. We have immortal life. We are the hunters of the night.
And we should hunt. We shouldn't harvest.
Coming from the man who is plenty fine harvesting, talking to the woman who only hunts.
He drained a field hospital of wounded. He walked from one bed to another of dying men and sucked what little life was out of them.
Look around. What do you see? Are you in Nazi Germany? Are you in occupied France? Stop living 60 years ago. Oliver, it is time for you to make a future and stop living in the past. I've seen your sanctum. Not your sanctum. I've seen your haven. Words? Mechanics?
Haven.
I've seen your haven. Sections of it are just dedicated towards reliving the same horrific moments of your life. At this point in time, a group of people walk up to the table, kind of unknown to you, kind of in the... Marco's is a very dark, romantic place, so it didn't occur to you until they were upon you. And Trent sits in the booth next to you, kind of sits down, and Vincennes sits next to Scarlett. And she looks at Trent, she looks around, she goes, "What the fuck is this? Oliver, what did you do?"
I did nothing.
And
I'm as surprised as you are.
Vincennes puts his arm around her and he goes, "Don't worry, dear." And he grabs her and they disappear.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And Trent looks at you and he goes, "Thank you." scene. He's just like trying not to giggle. Yes! You got him!
You want to go back to
You want to kill a werewolf?
Yes.
I know a guy who might be interested.
Okay, good.
All right. Who wants next? Who's got this quarter here? Who's got next?
I take pesos, not quarters.
Well, I guess
Right.
it's time to set up a meeting, it sounds like.
Yeah. So I
want in
think
on this. You don't know
this is
what
the
I'm
same
doing.
time.
I know.
This is elsewhere across town. All right. So let's hear a little bit about the last 2 days from you guys. Last we saw Jake and Calvin. They were leaving Cato Tower on unfriendly terms with each other. Heated words. You know, a lot of beans were spilled and a lot of lines were crossed. And you've basically spent a lot of waking moments thinking about calling or texting Calvin, but not doing it to not annoy him. Because you're on thin ice right now.
I know. I think a lot of part of it is just getting ready.
Okay.
I know a battle's coming and I need to prepare.
Yep. And from what you understand, from what you saw, Trent is a very dangerous foe. And so you end up going to the hospital, kind of getting some medical attention. Your ribs have been killing you ever since. You've also straightened up your house a little bit, your apartment.
Trying to make it
every time you walk in, kind of
sad.
Yeah.
Look where the bear was at one time.
And when you do get her back, you don't want her coming back to a home
dirty,
that's kind of wrecked. And you're starting to clean a lot more too. You're like, oh man, I'm going to show her that the new Jake is the best Jake, you know?
Yep.
What else? Anything else?
No.
Okay.
No, just, when I set the table, I set for 3 and just sit there. And
Oh, that's so sad. All right, Calvin, what is the rest of Sunday, Monday, and most of Tuesday look like? Class was probably not canceled.
Yeah, I've been getting by on that a little bit too much, but
Duncan's been asking you after. He's been ambushing you during office hours, waking you up during office hours is probably more appropriate.
Calvin is out at night a lot of the times. Not always just drinking, but this weekend probably drinking. I'm assuming like when we dropped Jess back off, like Calvin was in a sour mood when he came back.
Yeah.
Sunday night or Saturday night or whatever that
Probably
was.
wasn't feeling very jovial to...
That neon's not running well either.
Yeah, and was not in a great mood.
Oh, no.
Wasn't in a great mood the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. You get an earful from Abby about how you let Abby drive without being in the car.
Jess.
And man. Yeah. Abby gave you an earful about how you let Jess drive in the car without you. And something about going to a rich person's house and hanging, not drug dealing, but
Leaving her in the car.
leaving her in the car, and like this creepy guy was like loitering around, and Jess felt really
air conditioner
unsafe.
on?
Yeah.
It wasn't a great rest of the weekend. The start of the weekend
Friday
was
night
really
was
great.
amazing.
But
Friday night was on point. Calvin at his best.
Calvin's learned over the years that, the higher you are, the better you feel, the worse the fall is when you come down. So
There you go. You try and manage expectations by always disappointing.
exactly.
Perfect. All right. So you do. Right. So I'm assuming Jake finally reached out to you, put some pressure on. Mm-hmm. I think what's best too is Jake probably found one of his favorite pictures of Abby. No, names escape me. Sarah and Anna, and just sent you a picture message and said, "Please." What did you do? What do you do?
So I will call up Trent and say I have some information. I would like to talk with him and Vincennes.
Okay. So, and Vincennes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you have... Right, so they're really busy right now, sort of fighting a war with the vampires.
Especially right this very minute.
Well, this is him calling earlier.
Oh, earlier in the day.
Yeah. So they've been a little busy. Essentially, if you want to meet with them, you're gonna have to cash in a debt.
I'm okay doing that. I have a debt with Trent that I can cash in.
Okay. So he will meet with you, but he can only do it pretty short. Where do you want to meet?
Trying to think of where would be the best place to meet.
Heritage Park.
Okay. He tells you that he's got some business at the docks later that night. So preferably downtown or near the docks would be best.
I'll tell him like that freeway pass that we met under the second time that we met.
Okay, when he was pressing you for information on vampires. Yeah, and me and you got in a big screen battle. That's right. Yeah. So that's like south of downtown just a little bit, but it's pretty easy to get to because it's under a freeway pass. Yeah, no problem. All right, so he'll meet you there probably at like 10:30. Okay. Right. So what do you do with this meeting? What do you do with this information? You have supposedly at least Trent, but probably Vincennes as well.
What are my plans for
it? Are you planning
it?
on like warning them about what Cato's doing, or are you going to invite Jake so you can murder Trent? Like, and if so, what's the Vincennes angle? And like, I don't know.
I think I'm trying to honor both my deal with Jake as well as setting up protection for myself.
Okay.
So
are you meeting 30 minutes early with these guys before Jake gets there, sort of thing?
We could do that. I was thinking, giving Trent a warning, like, this is what's happening. I'm setting up a meeting, and this is what it's for. Like, I told him I would set up a meeting with you guys, but I think it's only fair that I tell you what's going to happen at that meeting.
Okay. Do you tell them that at the meeting, or do you tell them leading up to the meeting?
Leading up to the meeting, I'll tell him that it's kind of not what the meeting is for, but like I want to meet with him to set up a time when these two can, I guess.
Okay, so this is a super quick meeting to set up the meeting where Jake kills Trent, right? So to speak.
This is one of those meetings that should have been a phone call.
Things like
a
this
lot like Nerds and Stuff meetings.
Things like this aren't talked about over the phone, probably.
No, especially supernatural creatures are super paranoid. So basically, you're going to meet with him real quick, him and Vincennes, and Jake is not invited to that, right? Is that my understanding? Okay. All right, let's just get to that scene. Right, so you guys meet at the underpass, and there's Trent, Vincennes, and quite a few werewolves as well. They're all human form. There's a couple vehicles, and you hear thudding coming from a trunk of one of them.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just walk up. We're standing in the middle. The lights are kind of around the edge.
Oh yeah. Kind of like a cool half circle of light. Yeah, you walk into the threshold and you're standing there and you got all this light flooding on you. You see silhouettes.
Yeah. Good evening, gentlemen. Glad you could meet on such short notice.
It's nice to see you, Kelvin. He steps forward. You see the kind of scars silhouetting against his face. As he kind of steps forward, he shakes your hand. What can I do for you?
Well, pieces are being moved again in New Salem.
We're making a couple moves ourselves.
And unfortunately, I am being dragged into it. Look, we're not friends of the closest sort, but I think it's only fair that you know someone is after you.
Vincent steps up. As he's kind of walking up, he says, "What, we're not friends?"
Not close friends.
That's fair, Calvin. And then Trent kind of shuts him up. What do you mean someone's after us? This is besides vampires.
It's dealing with Cato, which is why I wanted you here, Vincennes.
You even hear the pack sort of growl in stereo when Cato just catches on the wind.
I have been asked to set up a meeting between Trent and a tainted known as Jake.
Vincent's Jake Gordon.
Jake Gordon. Jake's family has been captured by Kato. Jake has been sticking his hands where they shouldn't be, and Kato wants Jake to kill Trent.
Jake is he's such a simple weapon. I really hate to see him be aimed like this.
So, my goal here is to figure out a time when Trent and Jake can meet. But I didn't want Trent to feel like he was being ambushed. So this is the information I have.
And what do you suppose I do with this information?
Jake likes to prove his fighting in the underground arena. Maybe you could deal with him there and make it fair.
Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm fighting for the survival of our pack right now. And you hear kicking and a woman screaming coming from the trunk.
Whether you like it or not, you're fighting for your own survival too.
For fucking Kato. He's talking to Vincennes. Listen, we can figure this out. Jake is in a bit of a bind, but I know him. He's a good man. His loyalties might be misplaced right now. Do you think... Do you have any idea where his family might be held?
We tracked him down to Kato Tower on Saturday. But...
That place is a fortress.
It's a fortress, and who knows if they've been moved. I don't know who was watching over them at the time, but...
Probably that vampire that they have.
Very well could be. This information I give freely, but I just ask that you set eyes out as well.
Eyes on what? Obviously, you didn't have to come to us with this information.
My family. My little girl, Jess. I worry about the type of man Kato is if he's willing to kidnap women and children.
Yes. This is why Kato will stop at nothing. Thank you for coming to us with this. I hope that you have thought on our proposition to ally with each other.
I've thought about it. And after my experience Saturday, I'm more willing to work with you. I still don't like the idea, understandably, but...
Calvin, it's important for us to work together. If you see things that are wrong, I wish to be in a position to make them right.
I don't trust wizards, but I don't trust demons more.
That is fair. I don't trust wizards either. We're too ambitious as a lot. We'll figure something out. We'll schedule a meeting with you in a day's time. Give us time to finish our present business, and we'll get back to you and arrange something with Mr. Gordon.
Now, understand. I don't want him being haunted either. I'd like this to be fair as much as possible. He's simple, but he's kind-hearted. He's just trying to look out for his family as well.
We shall see to it that he is treated with the same accord that he showed us the same night we were ambushed. And then they kind of turn and start walking back to their vehicles.
I have to mark corruption, don't I?
Made a deal with the powerful entity. Yep.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you a debt. Trent is going to give you a debt. As he's walking away, he stops and he turns and he says, "Thank you.
Okay.
And
This is the second time this week that you have saved me."
So I get to mark night, but I just have one debt with him right now because I just cashed one in on him.
Yep. And you mark whenever you cash in a debt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Deal. All right. Okay, so I think we're going to cut back to Oliver.
Okay.
What did you do after the restaurant?
I need to find help.
Because Trent and the wolf pack just got up and left the restaurant.
I need to find Leob.
Did you follow them?
Actually, yeah. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
This is pretty crazy. All right. So here's the deal. I'm gonna have you keep your cool. Right? Scarlet was just kidnapped again by the fucking werewolves.
Right in front
Nice.
of you, right?
Pick them well. This will determine whether or not you follow them.
Looks good.
I also have a talent that lets me roll with blood instead. So I have a 12.
For keeping your cool.
Yep.
Okay. What talent is that?
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. I keep my cool, bro. So what was your final score?
12.
Wow, that's pretty good. All is well.
These guys
So
can hang out.
you have a level head about you. You follow them, clinging to the shadows of the night, and you head to the underpass. And you cling to the darkness above, and you witness the entire conversation that just happened. Got it!
Oh no, I
Got
tuned
Calvin too! Got Calvin too!
So,
Oliver's gonna be my team.
So let's recap. You understand that Jake's family was kidnapped
Jake's family's been kidnapped. Jake is working
by
for
Kato.
Kato.
Yep.
Jake is also working for Vincennes.
Jake was
That I kind of knew.
somewhat
Not really,
loyal
yeah.
to Vincennes. He said,
Yeah.
or someone mentioned, yeah.
I was just
So
helping Calvin out.
Jake is currently working for Kato, but Kato kidnapped his family to ensure that the
Right.
job is done.
But you know about them
Don't
now
forget, though,
because
you met with Vincennes before I ever did.
I did.
Yeah, that's not part of this conversation.
Yeah. Hey.
That's player knowledge. Player knowledge. All right. Also, Calvin has somewhat aligned himself with Vincennes
Vincennes.
and Trent,
And
Scarlet's in the trunk.
Scarlet is in the trunk.
Yep.
And
And there's probably
Calvin has
the-
kind of betrayed Trent. And
betrayed Trent.
Betrayed me.
or
Jake.
Jake.
Yeah.
You got so many fucking names
Yeah.
flying right
Man,
now.
how do you think I feel? I can't get his fucking kid's name to save my life.
Yeah, he's betrayed me.
So now I don't trust any of these fuckers.
I think that's the point of this campaign, bro.
God damn. Just when you think you have trust,
Friends.
you know?
We just had a friend moment too.
Yeah. That's a compliment to me. Anytime you guys are like, man, I thought things were going really well, and now they're not. I'm like, yeah, that's where I do one of these. All right, so you are clinging to the shadows, and vehicles are moving out. Which car do you follow? Can we come back to me now that I have this information?
Okay, so here's what's going down. You drove here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out in his back seat.
I was gonna say you could definitely sneak into his car. I will make you do. Let's see if there is a check to just not have his like WD-40 door give you away. Yeah.
Well, he was.
The engine was running. It was over. It was
Okay,
covered
deal.
by the
Yeah.
ticking that Jess
Deal.
caused.
You just slip into his back. I'm just gonna give it to you. You slip into the back of his car. He gets in. What do you do?
I wait till he starts to drive away until like
Yep.
we're clear of the area. This is quite a mess you've got yourself.
I like how we both did that at the same time. Yeah. All right, now I think there's a roll to poop yourself. Keep your cool.
Is this him having to keep?
Escape the situation.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of my car.
But your door doesn't work, so you have to roll down your window to open it from the outside. I almost think you established that in the first session too.
Might have. I don't
At the
remember
nightclub,
at this
I
I
think.
think you
Yeah.
did. I think I was listening to that.
Anyways,
point. Anyway.
so he ambushes you,
Yeah.
scares the shit out of you.
Christ, Oliver, what are you doing in there?
Well, I came looking for a friend. A friend whom was abducted while we were having dinner. By your friends.
By my friends.
Did you hear that screaming?
I didn't hear any screaming. I heard some pounding. I'm assuming that must be what you're referring to.
Yes, indeed.
Clarification, as a place, like, you definitely heard scream.
Oh, did I
I
hear-
said it was a female scream, yeah.
I thought.
Sorry, I didn't know if you were bluffing him or if you just didn't catch that. Yep.
No, I just didn't catch that. I only remember you saying there was like pounding in the
There
trunk.
was pounding at first, and then there was pounding and screaming. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So never mind.
And then just voices in the backseat.
Morgan. The woman, I'm guessing, in the trunk.
Yes, that would be the one.
I just assumed it was food. Like takeout. I mean, technically it is takeout.
Well,
From Marcos.
They got it from Marcos.
speedy delivery.
No, they did carry out. Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear that your friend was taken.
There's a lot of that going around lately.
Yeah.
What's his fucking game?
You just immediately start calling Jess.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whose game?
Vincennes.
My.
It seems
I
as
don't
though
know.
you've had a lot of exposure with him.
More recently, yes, but I'm not one of his confidants. This was for a different situation. I don't know if you were listening or not, but Jake is in trouble as well.
Yeah. I'm still talking about Scarlet here. Also, it shouldn't be a surprise to you that Scarlet is one of the most hated vampires in the
Yeah.
entire order by werewolves for being a werewolf killer / murderer. Just that's common knowledge.
Well, especially where, like, they were ambushed when they were about to give Scarlet back last time, too.
And violently murdered by 2 different clan factions. Yeah.
Friends are friends, man.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying when you're asking what's his angle, it's more Trent's angle, I'd bet.
Well, like, at this point, everything I've heard, like, I've had very little exposure with Vincennes. Mm-hmm. You know, in passing and then the meeting.
And the park was pretty much the gist of it, yeah.
And so I just, like, don't appreciate this.
Listen, I've had sex with Scarlet. I don't appreciate it either, okay? She's a good lay.
Yes, it would seem as though Jake is, playing both sides of the coin.
Look, Jake's my friend, but he put me in harm's way the other day. So, I'm just letting some other people who have power in this city know what's going on. I don't like being toyed with like this, but if I've got to choose a side, I'm gonna go with the one I trust more. Look, Jake's a nice guy and all, but trouble finds him almost worse than it finds me.
I can't possibly imagine.
Calvin equals dick.
It's your fault we're in trouble all the time.
Listen, everybody's had at least 2 strikes, okay? Next person's out.
I've got to warn you, Calvin. You're not a popular person.
No, I'm very popular. I would much like to be less popular.
Popular with some groups. The Redmore clan is, a little familiar with some of your activities. In fact, your activities and my association with you as a result of said activities has made me a very unpopular person.
I didn't think you were popular with them to begin with, from what I understand.
Well, I was trying to get to the root of that.
They wouldn't even let you down there to be part of the exchange when that was happening the other day. And that wasn't because of me. You
That was
caused that
me
yourself.
trying to keep the peace. Fucking peace. That's all I want. And yet here we are. I roll down the back window and light a cigarette. I just need a smoke right now.
That's the one rule Calvin has, though, is no smoking in his car. It's gonna devalue a car, mate.
Yeah. No. Look, I'm sorry your friend's been caught up in this. Again.
Fucking hell.
But there comes a time I have to look out for myself and mine.
I don't know if you recall from the meeting the other night, but the vampire that started all of this? I flick what's left of my cigarette out the window. He's my fucking brother.
It's news to me.
Yeah, he was a whole heap of news to me as well.
Bloody hell, that puts you in a tight situation, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Family I had never thought I'd see again. And yet, here we find them, starting all of this trouble. And, on top of everything else, the same fucker that bit me, bit him. I guess that makes us family all over again.
Lately, it's been really hard to sleep at the apartment. So the camera opens on you asleep down near the docks where you've been kind of crashing. Your apartment is too close. Everything reminds you of Anna and Sarah. The docks is a place where you can go to be Jake, where you can kind of sometimes forget about Anna and Sarah and just get your jobs done. You're a simple man, you like to work, you know, and you're kind of getting ready for bed, winding down. And a bunch of cars start driving through, pulling up, driving out near the seaside. And you generally have an idea that this is where bodies are dropped. And as you're kind of listening, you hear what you can tell to be probably the better part of a dozen guys hanging out, and you hear a woman screaming.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of peek out, see if I can just see who's out there. See.
All right, I'm gonna make you roll to keep your cool, because you're like, what the hell's going on? Depending on how you do for this roll, will be how close you get to find out what's going on. Okay. 5 on the dice. You are rolling with
I hope it's
Spirit, which is 0. Okay, so you miss. So the situation you would like to avoid is getting spotted. Okay? Well, you're spotted. And you're spotted by... Is it Trent or Marcellus?
I'm gonna say Trent.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Trent spots you, and he immediately starts to look really sketchy, right? It's like, Jake, is that you?
Yeah, what are you guys doing here?
What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm staying here. This is where I work. You know that.
I don't think Trent knows.
Well, he does now.
Oh, maybe it's Vincent's.
Yeah, I was like,
all right. I'm staying here. This is my job.
No, there's no ships in.
Let me worry about that.
And then Vincent overhears this, and he comes over. Jake, is that you? Come into the light.
I'm gonna kind of come in, but not fully.
Yeah. So just enough for them to
So
see
they
you.
see my silhouette, and that's.
And
Yeah. What are you guys doing here?
Jake, it's business that we must attend to. Listen, this is awkward. I didn't think anyone would be here, and I have connections here at the docks to get in and out undetected, but apparently there's always the Jake factor.
Well, dude, I thought you knew this is where I work. Nothing goes through here without me knowing.
There's no work to be had right now, Jake.
Well, you never know that opportunities come up.
It's funny you mention that. Opportunities coming up. I understand that you've been a bit of an entrepreneur yourself as of late. You see the woman getting dragged out of the trunk, and you recognize her somehow. You're gonna have to put a face to a name.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Okay. This is a faction move for Knight, so if you don't have it marked, you can if you hit, and that's a 10 on the dice. Plus Knight is a 0, so you have a 10. And putting a face to a name, you definitely recognize Scarlet, And on a 10 plus, you've dealt with her before. You learn something interesting or useful about them, or they owe you a debt.
So I've probably seen her at the exchange, is where I probably know her from.
Yep, you definitely remember her from the exchange. So do you want her to owe you a debt for helping?
No, because I think it would have been with him, the debt thing.
You still prevented the vampires from getting wiped out a little bit. Like, you could have sided with them. So the debt's not off the table, it's just less likely. You could know something about her.
I think that is what makes most sense.
So you absolutely know that she is the woman that Oliver was desperate to find. You also know that she is a hunter of wolves, and this looks like it's about to be an execution. You understand that she is a wanted person by these people, and that she's part of the Redmore clan.
Okay.
So your character now knows everything about her that your player knows.
What the hell is this? Why? What has she done?
She's killed countless of my kind.
We've all killed, you know that.
Well, maybe someday someone will come for you.
Well, I will be happy to meet that day. And then I'm going to look at... Am I talking to Trent or to...
This is Trent. Yeah.
As you know, you are a man of honor. I challenge you in the arena.
Why? To what end? I thought you were my ally. The other night, you helped us.
Things changed.
Jake, what is this arena nonsense?
This has nothing to do with you.
It has everything to do with me. You swore to me that you would help me in this endeavor. Your friends are at risk. And if I do not stop this...
I understand that, but there are other things in this world that are more important.
But there is nothing outside of my or my allies' reach. Surely you understand that.
Oh, it's out of your reach.
Is this Cato business? It's gotten out of hand, hasn't it?
And I'm kind of like shocked that you know.
Yeah.
How do you know? What?
You notice that the wolves are starting to circle around. 3 of them have Scarlet holding still. And she starts calling out, like, please, if you can help me, do something. And they just kind of shut her up. But you're fairly outnumbered now by the pack.
I'm like, what's your answer, Trent? Do you accept or yield?
I have no business with you in the arena.
Doesn't matter. You're a coward. No wonder your pack got slaughtered.
You have no business challenging me. You are nothing in the circuit. You have to earn the right to challenge a beta or a soon-to-be alpha.
Then it shouldn't be a problem for you,
You
right?
fought, what, twice now? You're still in the rat leagues, kid.
Like I said, it shouldn't be a problem for you then. Face me.
Jake, you waste my time. I will consider your proposition when I am healed. Or do you mean to fight a wounded wolf?
No, it is arena, it is battle. I should do it honorably.
In 4 days' time, perhaps.
Very well. But at least leave this woman alone.
What business is it with you?
She is a friend. I know her.
Aren't we not friends, Jacob?
We were never friends.
And you're friends with her and her kind?
The world spins, as you know.
Then I will see you in the arena. I will rip your throat out with my own teeth.
We shall see that. We shall see. Then I'm kind of going to back off, and I know this is not a good time. I'm going to back off, and as soon as I'm heading out, I'm going to start dialing. I'm going to call Oliver.
Okay. All right. You're in the back seat of Calvin's car. Where are you guys going?
Wherever he drives.
Robbie will pick me up. It's fine.
See, I could use some thinking time anyway.
Jake calls you.
Fucking what?
Oliver, where are you?
Calvin, where the hell are we?
On our way to Toads.
I guess we're going to Toads.
You're with Calvin. Oliver, you need to come to the docks. Scarlett's here. They have
What?
her. You need to come to the docks.
Something clicks with you. maybe 2 weeks back, a meeting with Zoe. You asked about Scarlet,
Water
and you found her fate was headlights over the ocean. Something about her fate.
Calvin, docks.
That's a complete opposite direction of anywhere you need or want to be right now.
Book it.
All right. Why? Can I ask?
Tell Calvin just to hurry. If you want to save her, they're going to execute her.
I just pop it on speaker real quick. One more time, Jake.
They're going to execute... they're going to kill Scarlet. They're going to execute her. You need to hurry if you want to save her.
And what concern is that to me?
Is that Calvin? Damn it.
You put me on speakerphone?
Damn it!
If there's one thing supernaturals hate more than texting and emailing and phone, it's speakerphone.
No offense, Oliver. But Scarlet doesn't mean anything to me.
Not my circus and not my monkeys. I think you have a debt over Calvin.
You do.
Sterling can refuse all the debts.
And I think it's time to cash it in.
Hey,
Calvin.
I can use this though, right?
It's just on goddamn phone too.
100%.
Because I think he probably knows that.
No sweat.
Do you have a debt over either Sterling?
I have a debt over both of them, and they have a debt.
Hey,
over
you've
me.
already cashed your debt in with me.
I know.
You didn't have to, did you?
I had two, I think.
Oh yeah, you did. Damn it.
Junior equals dick. Another check mark on the tally.
Okay, I'm gonna just tell you, pull over, park. Do it now.
All right.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do my invocation. So this move is, you may cash a debt with someone to appear in their presence, or others may cash their debt to have them appear with as well. So, right? So have them appear with me.
But this is just
you,
a
like
vision. This is just. It's not a teleport.
Oh, it's not teleport. Okay.
Do you want to take that back? This is for you to appear with them and stand before them like a hologram of sorts, and
he's driving. That's
like a shade of darkness. No, when you're telling him to pull over, you can appear as like the shade of darkness.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll just do that because they need to know it's serious.
It's like an echo of your demonic fart. Yeah, that is very serious.
Okay, so
all right, so he hangs up the phone. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear invocation. The first time you're casting it. So you are cashing in your debt to appear in Oliver Calvin's presence. Who?
And I thought both.
Well, you're just cashing one debt.
Okay, I'm gonna Oliver because he's the one that needs to see all this.
So you cash in a debt to do so?
Yeah.
So he's cashing
he
in his
alleviates
debt on you.
his debt that you owe him.
Oh,
He
okay.
appears before you.
So I imagine that I appear, but I'm in my demonic form.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm
you're
not-
like the shadows cling
Right.
to you, and there's like red fiery smoke.
So are you like just coming out of the dashboard then?
No, you guys are out of the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
He's like standing before you, kind of like a Palpatine hologram, but dark and demonic. Yeah.
Hi, Jake.
Oliver, this is serious.
I'm sorry, this is demon form.
Oh. Oliver, this is serious.
I mean, don't go so hard on demon form. Yeah.
Okay. You need to get to the docks. Now. Trent's there. And so is Vicente. Do you not want to save her?
There's no wine glasses to break. Your go-to move.
I can't break anything. Because I really don't feel like breaking Calvin's car. I feel bad
Yeah.
enough for
Well,
him.
the only thing you have in your hand is your cell phone.
It can go. I have others.
Oliver, it's only a matter of time.
Like minutes-ish.
There's no way we can get there in minutes.
The narrative says just about. This, if you leave this moment, good luck convincing Calvin to leave this moment and speed towards the docks. I think is the angle of the story here.
Calvin, we need to get there. We've got to try and help. This isn't going to fix anything. This is just going to make things worse.
You're well aware that the war is out of control. This won't make a drop
This
in the
isn't
bucket.
gonna change anything.
Yeah. If anything, this will empower your allies.
one way or another, it's ripples, mate.
You remember that time? About a week ago? Your, daughter wound up crashing at the club. I made sure she got home safe. You help me out with this? We'll call it square.
So what? Me saving your life a couple times now doesn't call that square? Look, I'll get you to the docks. But I'm not helping in the fight.
Just reminding you of numbers, going to the docks and fighting is dangerous. As your GM, for how much you guys care about your characters, it's a dangerous fight. There are not two factions going at war and you guys are in the middle. You're one of the factions. Against a powerful wizard and the better part of a dozen werewolves. Yep.
Look,
I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm putting all the cards on the table. I am playing to find out what happens, but giving you guys all the information you need to make decisions.
You heard me earlier. I just made a deal with them. It would be suicide for me to turn my back on them this early.
Fuck! Like, I know going to the docks isn't gonna do anything, but paint an even bigger target on my head.
I also probably can't hold this form for a long time.
I'd say that you have
For a
a
scene.
minute or two. Yeah, just a brief scene that can't drag on too long.
Yep. So
Also, you just don't have, like, if you're going to stall for them to get here, then
they're-
don't have the time.
wouldn't
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually start heading over, and I open the driver's seat of my car, and I reach across and pop over the passenger seat, and I say, "Your call, mate."
And then I kind of disappear.
You fight the battle or you fight the war.
I need to find someone.
Hitting the streets?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna cut back to the docks. As you walk out, you can hear them pulling her fangs out. And do you do anything?
No, I know
Okay.
that I can't because I can't risk getting hurt.
Okay. They, Vincenz is standing off to the side. He's not really interested in watching this part of the show.
Right.
The wolves are working themselves up, and when they're finished pulling out her fangs as souvenirs, they pull up their guns and they just riddle her with bullets. And they dump her into the water.
Just watch. I know I'm angry, but I know there's nothing I can do.
As they walk by, Trent says, "I will see you in 4 days. Rest up. You're gonna need it."
Just gonna give him a good stare back.
Okay. And they leave.
This is a fun game, right? Like,
How
it's
much for farm
totally just
equipment,
fun.
I present you guys with choices.
Well, can the choice be start over and just be farmers?
Yeah.
That's old Salem. This is New Salem.
Sounds like a pleasant place to live.
All right, gentlemen, we cut back to you guys. What are you doing?
I need to find Leol.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna.
that is good luck. All right, go ahead and roll to hit the streets.
I'm gonna send a text and just say she's dead.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
That's with Knight, right?
Yep.
9.
9 is a hit. Choose one. They're available and have the stuff. So what are you going to find Leold for?
I need to tell him what happened before he finds out.
Okay. So I guess the stuff is free time to meet with you. Or the ability to meet with you after how despised you are in the community.
Yay.
So you meet with him, and is he juggling his own problems? Or is time with him more costly than anticipated?
I'd say he's probably juggling issues,
Okay.
given the fucking war.
Okay. So, you catch wind, you meet up with one of the cronies of the Redmore clan, and you end up hearing that he's out in wolf territory, and it sounds like they're packing, going there to kill some wolves. And so to meet with him... I'll just say that... What is his own problems? Because I was going to say you guys are going to have to like go into a firefight to meet with him, but you got a hit. Okay, how about this? You catch up with him, and he is horribly wounded from a scrape. Okay, so his juggling his own problems is like he's pretty. One more bout like this and he's probably going to be dead. Like, he's a couple scratches, he's got bite marks. Him and his boys got lit up pretty bad. Is Calvin driving you around, or did he drop you off, or?
This is up to him. I crushed my phone and took off into the night.
Then no.
Probably not. Okay. Are you driving home?
I'm gonna go to Toad's.
Okay, deal. Alright, so you're driving to Toad's. Okay, so you link up with him, and as you get there, you get a text from Jake. What does that text say?
Well, it is on
My
phone,
phone
right?
is destroyed.
Oh.
So he'll get one, but it won't. He
Fair
won't get it
enough.
till later.
Okay, never mind. You arrive, and Leold is in like a safe house that you heard about, and you're like surrounded by armed vampires, and they're all kind of glaring at you. What do you do?
Leold, I have some bad news.
Couldn't be any worse.
I tried to meet up with Scarlett tonight.
Man, you guys were getting dinner from last I heard of her. You take it
Yes,
dinner didn't go so well?
That party was crashed.
By the wolves?
And a certain wizard.
Of course. Is she okay?
I don't think so. I tried to follow them as far as I could. But they had the whole pack with them. Last I heard, they were down at the docks.
Not the whole pack, friend.
Well,
As you can see.
all that remains.
Well, his wounds is referencing...
Oh, okay.
There's... Yeah.
They had enough. There's only so much I could have done. And against a dozen wolves...
You did more than you needed to. Scarlett cared deeply for you. If she's still alive, then I know she appreciates you. She was very excited to meet with you tonight.
They only would have taken her to the docks for one thing.
He starts like work himself up, and then you see blood like pouring from like starting to reopen his wounds, and his people are like, give him some space. He's damn near dead, and now you're dropping this information on him. I'm sorry, Oliver. I think you should go. Is one of the cronies.
She made me an offer before they took her. If that offer stands, I want to accept it.
And what offer was that?
place in the family.
That is very kind of her. We will see if we can honor that. You have to understand that unless there's any proof of her invitation, we cannot take it at face value, especially with how things went as of late.
I come with some information to offer too. The wizard and the wolf still hunt my brother.
Your brother is safe. He's lost in the tunnels.
They made me an offer to sell him out.
That's what they do.
As you know, I've had some trouble with the Fae as of late.
We've heard. Not that we put much pressure on that, as you can understand. We have problems of our own.
I understand. They offered to alleviate that pressure, as well as, we'll say, grant me some very, very pleasant things. But what they've done tonight, I'm a man of honor, and I won't do business with dishonorable folks. I just want that to be known, because I know it's not going to look good for me. And that's why I wanted you guys to hear it from me.
I can see why Scarlet placed trust in you. Another guy comes up. If you don't mind, he needs to rest.
Get well, Leo.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
You do the same.
So you just kind of bowing.
Okay. Jake, having watched Scarlet executed very Ganglands-ish style, Oliver meeting with Leold and reversing his recent loyalties for obvious reasons, and Calvin going to get drunk on a Tuesday night. I think we're going to call that a session. So...
This shit normally just happened on the weekends.
Yeah. Now
So
it's
was my
Tuesday
bet
nights.
with you honored or not?
I don't think so.
Because I was willing to do it.
Oh yeah, you were willing to drive him to the docks, but you didn't. Yeah, so no. So that is our session tonight. We will see you again next week for more Friends Like These. Take care of each other. Funny thing about Junior dying is that you can come back to life so long as someone gives the demon a debt.
Yeah, but who at the
But
table?
is Calvin gonna do that?
Hell no, he's not.
Not me.
Oh, okay. What about half a debt? You're like, I'm good. Quarter of a debt to bring your friend back to life. Can you bring
We
him
kind of
back?
left on bad terms.
I'm glad he's dead.
Maybe Jake should have thought about that before he died.
They have the only people I
He
love.
doesn't have to
I
worry.
couldn't put
Martin's
myself in
gonna
your
put him-
position. I wouldn't have gotten in that position in the first place.
Yeah, maybe you're smart.
I'd have just let it die, like I did my boy.
I just heard shots fired. I'm able to process it.
Calvin is not having a good day.
We're just playing good times, all right?